impression is coming to us is, where are you from? Most of our policies are good, and they are for the good of Nigeria. But the way we are thinking, our mindset, North-South dichotomy, tribes, culture, and of course religion, cost a lot to our policy. We need to be one. This is what our national anthem and what our constitution is all about. We are all men under one document. That's the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Furthermore, we are all human. We need to respect ourselves as human beings before asking, where are you from? We need to attend the question of these challenges of interest. And unless and until we attend it, Nigeria will remain where we are. For example, now we have bill before us. Most of the commentators, tax regime or tax reform bill, most of the commentators believe that 75% of the bill are in the interest of all Nigeria. But some section of the constitution, some section of the act dented the bill, which make so many Nigerians kick against the bill. Original, even yesterday, Southeast Caucus resolved that there is need of wider consultation before considering the legislation. If not because of South-North dichotomy, religious differences, ethnicity, and the other challenges we are facing, we are supposed to have so many legislation which will make Nigeria great again. But because of our challenges, which we need to unify and we need to understand to resolve our differences before moving forward. For example, Nigeria as today, you cannot in any way achieve a good governance unless and until you have free, fair, and acceptable election. One of the challenges of our election, from pre-election, election period, and post-election period, is our mindset. From selection and recruitment of the leadership, we are not doing it sincerely. We are not doing it because of Nigeria. We are not doing it because of the development of Nigeria. We are doing it because of South, because of North, because I am Hausa, because I am Plan. Unless and until we put our head together and resolve all that differences and work toward unified Nigeria, then we will have it. There is serious challenge in Nigeria. This is the only challenge which made Nigeria stagnant. We need to resolve this issue as soon as possible. Yes, it is difficult to have a country like Nigeria, which is one. Even when you go to the developed countries like US, they have their own differences, but their national interest is paramount than the individual or regional interest. We need to do a lot. In resolving it, we need to sit down under a roof and discuss the Constitution of Nigeria. We need to have a people constitution, the constitution that will carry your own plight, carry his own, put it together and balance the equation. Doing so, I think we'll get it right. But now the main challenge of us as a country is our mindset of North, South, regional, religion, and the other differences which we need to bury. No matter how good the policy is, we are not thinking of that policy. We are thinking who brought the policy. And it started from the selection of the leadership, recruitment of the leadership. Most of the leaders are recruited not because of their capacity, not because they are effective, not because they can deliver. They are selected because of where they came from. which we need to resolve it. It's one of the fundamental challenges Nigeria is facing. Quite all right, there is corruption, but this one is more prominent than the corruption. If we can have a one country, definitely we will deal with corruption. Even the corruption cases is the outcome of our differences and the way we are thinking.
Okay, someone here. Hold on. I think you should take the last. Let me align.
Legal system. Establish legal system from the source, Quran and Hadith, Ijma and Qiyas, maybe the amalgamation of opinion of ulama. It is from where we have our laws. Therefore, in their own wisdom, they expunge some of the section of our legal system, but they retain almost 85%, knowing that it will be the solution of our challenges and our own problem. Marriage issue is under penal code, as you said. Is it true? And in all the laws, Islamic laws, maybe since 1903 March, when he made a proclamation of Nigeria or northern Nigeria as protectorate, or they transfer it up to UK, the Queen or the King, they agree that our laws are very comprehensive. This is what too I agree with. And it protects the right of women more than any law in the world. There are so many studies which I can refer you to. In Harvard, there are one senior professor who spent all his time doing research on Islamic legal system with specialization on law of inheritance. They all believe that it is very comprehensive. Recently, when we are discussing, or when we have a motion on the International Women's Day, I made a contribution. I cited some portion from Holy Quran, the way we are practicing law of inheritance. Most of the people believe that the right of women, in accordance with the Islam jurisdiction, the woman has deprived their own right. I explained to them that it is maybe 1 or 2, 3 verses in the Holy Quran which talk about inheritance. Women are more protected than the female. It is only one issue. Yusikum Allahu fi awladikum li zakari misla hazul unsayayn, up to the end of the verse. In Islam, for example, if I have one child, 2 daughters, he is taking 100%, while their own will be 50%. Most of the critics are seeing it as injustice. It is only placed in the Holy Quran or in our law of inheritance where women can take below man. But in the other places, if she is a wife, her husband died, she will take sudus, 1/10, 1/8. And if she is a mother, she will take 1/6. But on that case, she will take 50% of her brother. The idea then is that, okay, when she go out for a marriage, he leave the house for a marriage, maybe her husband will divorce her in accordance with our Islamic jurisprudence. She will come back to the house. Definitely she will come under him to come and enjoy that 50%. She will live in his house. There are so many saying, even what you are saying, yes, in Islam allowed that, but with it is not like they just allowed you to beat or do something to your wife just like this. No. There are some measures which you need to take, and you must stick on that position. I assure you that. You cannot do the one which will harm her. You cannot in any way harm her. Do you understand? If for any reason you harm her, you will be taken to court. But there are so many arguments on the penal court. We believe that it is some of the, it is outdated because most of it are not from Islamic source of Sharia, Quran, Hadith, Ijma, and Qiyas. It's not from there. That is the reason why some of the Muslims are complaining on the penal court. Yes, we can review it, but actually most of the penal court are Islamic-oriented laws, which we believe is the only solution to our current challenge as a nation. We Muslims, this is our belief.
Hold on. You want to ask the further question? Okay. So I see a lot of you are still raising your hands for questions. Like we told you, the plenary is still on. So if we want to keep taking all of these questions, it would not leave this place. So I don't know. We are thinking of just doing two. So we are doing two. We are doing two.
Repeat that question to Mungunu. He's a lawyer.
Yes. Hold
Yes.
on. We are doing two.
Reserve the question to the next person.
Let me do our home. Then they take your home and you'll be the last.
We have a ethic and privilege committee, which mainly is to do with the conduct of affairs of our members. If there is conflict, I don't know the kind of conflict you are saying. Is it in the process of lawmaking or misunderstanding between?
In the process of misunderstanding that leads to fighting or?
Yes, it will be referred to the Senate or House Committee on Ethics and Privilege, where our privileges and conduct are moderated. There is a standing committee on that aspect.
Thank you very much.
All right. Then the last question.
As a law student, I'm passionate about contributing to the legal framework of our nation. However, I find myself wanting to actively participate in legislation over litigation. So my question is, what advice would you give to a young aspirant for a career in the legislative arm of government?
Well, for me, it is a human creation. There was an election recently in the US, nothing like election litigation or constituting a constitutional or tribunal to go and attend the outcome of the election. Even the Ghana election, before the announcement of the election, the vice president conceded a defeat and congratulated the opponent, his opponent. And everybody is going out to his own business. But in our own case, more especially this 2003 general election and 2019 general election, there are so many court cases. Some are human created. Some it is you who lawyers in advising the client. Most of the cases it is the lawyers who are advising the client that go, you know, it is not your own right. For example, I am a victim in 2019. There was a consensus among the candidates in Kano and in Sumaila Take Federal Constituency. They all withdraw for one candidate. Then on the process, because of what happened in the Senate primaries, the party and the government decide to persuade the candidate to step down for me to come and contest the election. He willingly accepted, and they compensated him with a commissionership slot. And they invited me to come as consensus candidate to contest the election. I started my campaign. I spent almost 120 days campaigning. I entered election. But later on, somebody filed a case against me. He never participated in the whole process. He even withdrew from the contest. But he took me to court. We went to higher court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court. I lost it in a very controversial judgment or situation. How can somebody who never contested election, never been in the primaries, knowing the secondary election, he never even visited the constituency for almost 150 days before election, and he became the member of the House of Representatives. I have my certificate of return issued by INEC. Later on, they withdraw it, reissued another one to somebody who never took part in the election. He was advised by the lawyers. Do you understand? Therefore, yes, lawyers are part of it, but we politicians too, we are called friends. Because in most cases, we are the one who is approaching lawyer and arrange. What I am advising you is that fear God on whatever you are doing. Put it on the table and have a belief in your heart that, sincerely speaking, you never participated in this election. Can't you tell your client like this? Oh, you are not doing it. Eh? You are not doing it. Can you do it? Eh? 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 You see, this money you are worshiping. You are worshiping money. You need to tell your clients that no, you don't have case. Fear God. No, you
We're taught that we should not tell our clients no at first instance, that we should try and find a way. If not, it would be bad on our parts as lawyers. If not, it would be bad on our parts as lawyers to tell them no at first instance. Yeah, you know, if you come with me to me with your case, and I tell you no, that you don't have a case, you not come back.
okay. So, and you are advising me not to take bribe. Will you advise me not to take bribe if somebody give me bribe as a member? Cool? Are you advising me to take or not?
Oh,
Not
take
take
bribe
it.
and do what?
And do his the needful.
Take
What
it
he wants.
and then don't do it.
You see, there is serious contradiction between morality and what reality. Maybe you are not. Maybe you are in the school of Macmillan school of thought, where you think that there was no morality on what we are doing. Is it not so? Therefore, stick to what is good. You don't have the case, my brother. Finish.
Okay.
Explain to him.
Excuse me. Hold on.
Hold on.
Please sit down. I would only with your permission I will take a question. You know why, sir? Why were this morning she was not part of this class?
Why?
She was busy doing her things, and that is why I wonder the question she would want to ask. Even if she will ask any question, people that participated in the class will be the ones first before allowing her, because she was not part of the class. So, with your permission, if you would allow, sir, let's allow people that were part of this class. Yes, you.
Good morning. My name is Chinechere Mbukiru. Also, it's regarding the penal code. It's kind of conflicts with what's in the constitution about gender equality, human rights, and regional disparities. So in the penal code, it kind of like discriminates women. For example, this section 55 is saying that a woman can be chastised by her husband, like in a form of correction, but in the constitution in section 46 is about like discrimination, that people should be there's equality before the law. So I want to understand if there will be like adjustment to the penal code.
Come again. Put it in a clear term, not in a legal term.
Okay. In the penal code, there are some laws in the penal code that,
Like which mention 3 to me.
for example, a woman can be corrected by her husband through the husband can chastise a woman in the form of correction, but a woman cannot do the same thing to the man. But in the constitution, it's saying that there should be no form of discrimination.
One. Then give me another one.
That is the one I know for sure, the one I learned recently. So I'm trying to know, because the penal code has been criticized a lot of times for like outdated laws and everything. So I want to know if there will be adjustments to the penal code. to align with what's happening now in our generation.
With due respect, let me disagree with you. It is not outdated. The Penal Code is a product of mainly Islamic legal system. Although even we Muslims, we have a contention of some areas, because some of the laws are from Sudan, Pakistan, India. You know, one Lord Lugat came, formerly he was in India and Hong Kong. Then Sudan play a critical role before I alternate to Kenyan Parliament, which we believe in the entire African countries. Kenya is leading in women participation in politics. They have more than, I think, 30% participation. We study their laws and we study the circumstances that lead them to be part of the legislature and position in the authority. But from our own finding, we find out that no, it is not by legislation enough. We need to sensitize ourselves and the women too to play their card according to the rules of the game. You must believe that you are ready to take leadership. And therefore we need to do a serious sensitization. The problem of women is women. Therefore you cannot achieve what you are thinking. It is not easy. It is not easy. I can cite an example for you. US, they are the most developed democratic country in the world. But for over 300 years, it is difficult for them to have a woman as a president. Is it not so? And even today, for example, if in my own senatorial district, a woman is contesting against me, are you following me? Do you think Amina can go and vote her and leave me because she is a woman? Eh? No. So this is your problem. Or do you think my wife can abandon me and go and vote for fellow? Therefore, we need to sensitize ourselves. It's beyond legislation. It's beyond legislation. We need to understand ourselves, and you need to believe that you are ready to take the responsibility. And in most cases, if you are interested with the responsibility, you will mess up. Like what happened recently in Aswaju's cabinet. Therefore, after legislation, we must sensitize ourselves. You are allowed Islamically to be part of the government, to give your insight as women, but you must be ready in taking the responsibility. Who is the president of your law? You are the president. How many men do you have?
One.
No, how many are you?
In
men. How many are you?
in the executive,
No, in all of your.
All of you are.
We actually have.
I'm not sure, but we have more women. Even on my executive cabinet, one man and all women.
So is the executive cabinet?
Yes, sir.
All are women.
Yes.
More women. Only him.
Only you. So why are you conceding the first position to him?
No, because he won the election free and fair.
Who bought him?
Women.
Therefore, it is not our capacity. That is the reason why you don't have capacity. That is the reason.
The previous LSS president was
Exactly.
last two terms.
So this is what we are
We
hoping.
have the capacity.
And the former president, the SGA president, was also female.
So this is what we are
We
hoping.
have the capacity.
This is what we are hoping.
She's as well the Speaker of House of Representatives.
Yes.
So that is good. That is good. So
All
the
right.
last question from
Yeah,
Mark.
last question, and you take the vote of thanks. They will take the
Very
group
much,
photograph.
thank you for all that you have said in the course of this introduction. Actually, I just want to quickly touch on the fact that I have something in common with you, because in 2019 I also contested for the House of Rep in my state, Bauchi State. I won the
Which federal constituency?
Bauchi Central, and I won the primaries, but however, before the general election again, something similar happened in the court and my certificate of return was withdrawn and given to someone else. So I totally relate with what you have just said. And then quickly to comment on the issue of chastising a lady, whereby a lady cannot do same, it's more of, Islamically, it's more of psychological, because what is said in the Quran is by the tip of your garment. I can never hurt a lady by beating her with the tip of my garment. So it's more of psychological rather than trying to hurt the lady, so to say, just to add to that. And then my question directly to you, sir, is I want to know of the synergy between the third Senate and the executive. I do know that without this proper synergy, certain bills or certain motions can just hit the ceiling and come down without really seeing the day of light. How can you rate the synergy between the executive and the legislative arm of government in the 10th Senate? Thank you so much.
So that's the form of both of things.
Thank you so much yet again. Yeah.
It is very difficult question because I have my own position which I believe. It is what I am canvassing up to tomorrow. It is very, very unpopular, but I stood for it. I am not in support of any way to have a synergy between the synergy, the type of synergy people are asking. I'm not supporting it. I want the National Assembly or Parliament to work independently. Let the executive do their own work. Let us meet and harmonize the position, not to become subservient of the executive. I am not in support of it. But yes, there is good relationship between the leadership of the two chambers of the National Assembly and the executive, because they are the product of the executive. You understand? Yes. But I am not in support of any way. I want the National Assembly or Parliament to be independent, to stand by the national or the citizens. Do you understand? This is my own position.
Thank you, sir.